Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. All right, lovelies, welcome. No, I can't start like that. Okay. All right, so we are gonna get back to Tiny Bunny. Not sure if many people know about this game. I don't know much. The last video I played Halloween. It's been more than a month. I was scared. I was drinking, and we are drinking again. We are gonna be drinking this Moscato d'Assati, a 2020 from Vietti, I think. I don't know. It's an Italian wine, and it does taste good. It is sweet, and it's the first one I actually chilled by itself. So I actually chilled it, so it has that real natural smooth coolness to it. But I've started to realize it has a fruity sweet. So like the other wines that I like, they're more juice like. This really tastes like a fruit. It's like a peach. I really get more of that peach flavoring to it. Hold on, we got a message from Snapper to Snap Snap. So let's review real quick. So mom and daddy got their issues. Little sister, little brat. We was looking outside and freaking jump scared by the wolf coming at us. Oh shit! And then something jumped at us in this dream. I guess. So we'll load it up and let's figure out what else is about to happen, because I'm still kind of lost and I don't got the best memory, so I kind of forgot some things. But let's see. Oh, they don't speak English. That's the big thing. Okay. That's why I don't want to laugh at old. Oh, I can go back. Oh, you just go back with the with with the words. Wait, I don't remember saying that. I don't remember talking about that. It was just a dream. Oh yeah, cause it was storming, so calm her down. You wake up, it was just a dream. Don't be scared. Try. So then I think this is now. So I have an idea. Let's go in our room and watch Sleeping Beauty. You like that cartoon? Sleeping Beauty. Let's watch Cinderella. Okay, what was that? Was Study Me with its white eyes dancing under. Oh, so did he see something in the window? Did I miss another scare? I'm fine with that. The darkness was clinging to the window and it couldn't be fooled by my grandma's old chant. Oh yeah, grandma. Grandma kind of weird. Couldn't be satisfied. Told Shay you're coming along. Yes, just a moment. Okay, that's why I didn't want to laugh at Olga and her owl in the morning. Oh, we got visitors. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. Oh, maybe it's a little side piece. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Olga always hides. What she said. I felt the kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them towards the hallway. Oh, what's that? Oh, a couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment when she saw patrol cars, worse than bandits. She know. Everybody know. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused.
Здравствуйте.
Was prostitute? Did I say it? Okay. Sound like prostitute. Okay. The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded.
Мальчик вчера потерялся. Вовой зовут.
A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name's Vova.
Глянь, пожалуйста. Ты его не видел?
Look at this, please. Have you seen him? I can't do voice impressions. I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna fail, but it's okay. Or I could just let them read, and we read. Like, I could read the descriptions and let them talk. We're gonna do that. Depending on what they say, I might jump back in. The policeman held out a photograph to me. Oh, he's adorable. Oh, and he got a little kitten. I want a kitten. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with the wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. He's adorable.
Точно? Посмотри внимательнее.
How you gonna tell me what to do? I just told you I know this fool.
Где мне его видеть? Я тут никого не знаю, да и из дома-то почти не выхожу.
Exactly.
А может, видел в окно?
The window.
Да, у тебя ведь окна на лес.
The window.
Нет, не видел.
Ясно.
He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason.
Вы, кстати, как на новом месте? Попривыкли уже?
With all that, that's a new place?
Понемногу, только вот дочка маленькая по городу скучает.
Скучает, значит. Из местных вас никто не беспокоит?
True, I don't know if I could be a city girl going from the city to that. Always joking, saying I want to be a hermit and do that. But the bougie bitch inside of me, I don't know if she could. She could be satisfied with that.
Все хорошо, спасибо.
The policeman pierced through me one more time with his gray eyes. My head started
Может,
spinning.
вам помочь как-то?
Yeah, quit staring at me, fool. I asked in a shaky voice to look. I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner.
Я вот стою и думаю, ты, малец, на племеша моего похож. Шустрый парнишка твоих лет, с такими же окулярами. Все книжками зачитывался, детективами.
How you know I'm reading a mystery novel?
Когда летом погостить приезжал, говорит, что в школу милиции мечтает поступить.
Oh, you're talking about he reading. Okay. I was like, how you know what I'll be reading?
Как я. Хотел людям помогать. Смекаешь?
Oh, that's cute. I felt uncomfortable, same, as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me. Ooh.
Ох, ребятушки. Сидите-ка вы лучше дома. Не ввязывайтесь ни во что. Жизнь сейчас совсем другая пошла.
My mom interjected in a cold voice.
Мне ли не знать?
Ну да ладно. Ты, Антон, в каком классе учишься?
В 6-м.
Друзей-то на новом месте еще не завел?
Talk about the interrogation now.
Пока нет. Я только после каникул в школу пойду.
Тогда вот вам на всякий случай мой номер. Звоните, если узнаете что.
You give the kid a number to contact and not the mom. The policemen were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne, and the photo of a smiling boy. His face stood still before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him, being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I gone missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually?
Мам, а Вова этот в нашем лесу заблудился?
Выходит, что так. Бедный ребенок.
I looked out the window at the road. The police drove off toward the village. Oh, we saving? Wait, is that... Oh, does that mean it's a new Uza? A Soviet-Russian off-road freight passenger car brand, which was produced by the Yuvovska car factory? Cool. A Spirit. Ah, okay, so Soviet-Russian. Things I know nothing about. You love this? The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. I remember all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Wait, Black Kitty? a series of contemporary Russian original or translated teen mystery folk. Why Black Kitty? You know, Black Kitten? I mean, we gonna look that up, y'all. I want to know, you know, y'all like a little black kitten every now and then? Okay. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam, solved any complicated case. Hey. So that's your version of Scooby-Doo. Cool. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policeman's foot that led to the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy, and I'll get a reward. Olga will be so happy. Ooh. He don't know the case, so mind your business. And not only Olga, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. So this is how it all begins. A boy go missing. He think, if I find this missing boy, everything will be perfect. Whew, Chile. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. What's the D word? I forgot the D word. I fantasize about bringing Olga a Tamagotchi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. A whole box of Kinder Surprise. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. Accountant. A song by an all-female Soviet pop band by the name of that. Combination. That became widely popular in the early 90s. Accountant. A Soviet pop band? I wonder how that... We might have to pause. Wait. I feel like this is it then. Okay, we're gonna... I don't think that was the song at all. Okay, yeah, we're gonna leave that alone. That was interesting. I always love hearing different music. That gave me Spanish vibes, honestly. The first song I was vibing with more, but that was Russian apparently. That was Soviet, I guess. But okay. Interesting. Lost his job at the time. Annoying song about it. I had little to no idea what the accountant's job like. Oh, he was an accountant. They count money, I think. Oh yeah, he counts the money, all right. Neighbors used to envy us, but nowadays Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets and sweats. And Dad will always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Ola. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues. I gotta be careful, keep skipping while I'm talking. Okay.
Сейчас.
Ah, that's right, Mama. You already know your son. You know what he up to.
Чтобы потом милиционеры с твоей фотографией по домам ходили. Лес вон какой густой. А если мальчика звери дикие утащили? Или того хуже?
Even worse, echoed through the hallway.
Да я рядом буду. В лес не пойду.
Что я тебе сказала? Мне дважды повторять.
Put your foot down. Hard-headed little kid.
Лучше портфель собери или соли поиграй.
I got a pack for school this early. The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Hell yeah, we gonna go to the front yard. I get to pick. Do I go to the kitchen? Do I go down? Ooh.
Антон!
Damn it. Fine. Maybe I should look on her first. Wait, why I got a lot of mama about? What's in the fridge? Grandma kept ice cream for me and Olga there, but now I can only see meat bits for soup and clump together pulling me. I grew to hate them already. What is that? A Russian variety of dumplings made to boil by unleavened dough filled with mice meat? Once might even call it Russian fast food. I gotta would try that. Okay. Turn back. Let's go down here. The dark, stuffy closet. Mom says it smells like mice, but how will she know their smell? She hates it when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. And Olga can't even be lured to close it. She thinks Bambi is living in there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me. And I like to hide in the closet and listen to Olga count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. I don't know the rhythm of that. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Okay. So we go back to the kitchen. Let's lie to Mama. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home.
Там что-то с телевизором случилось.
Ooh.
Картинка какая-то тусклая, и экран весь в полосах.
Mom's face became visibly distorted.
Без ножа меня режешь. Дострелялся в уток своих. Говорила же, посадите мне кинескоп своей приставкой. Где мы теперь мастера найдем в дыре этой, а?
Может быть, просто настройки сбились? Сходи, посмотри, пожалуйста.
Ah, that's a good one.
Нормально же работал с утра.
Из-за снегопада, наверное, неполадки.
Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Olga's room. Oh, this is our runaway. Let's go. I opened the front gate and went into the field, carefully so Mom won't see me from the window. When I crossed half the distance towards the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. Oh, that's so cool, the crows in the background. I can kind of imagine being here, but not being here. Like, I would love to see that sense of feeling of just you. Because in the city, you see people, you know there are people around. But then when you're in a place like this, where there's no one for miles, that's a different type of mentality. They were jumping around, holding hands. Wait, who? I already missed, I think I clicked something. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. Oh, he's remembering. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there. Distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me, and a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent, I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olga. The time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended at the forest piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olga turned to stone listening to them. But then, always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Olga present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day, it all changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? From the people with dead cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our previous home? The eyes that only saw balls of worms in the black ground and everything. And somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming minutes. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. Oh, he's adorable too. There were only me, this white field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and confusion needles froze into the ice. Oh, what's that? Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. Exactly, like, come on, you see what it is. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the semi-dark. Hungering. Semi-dark. Yeah, that's a whole glove, my guy. Should I take it to the police? Their senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. Was he a cop in that show? A Russian mystery TV show telling the story of the daily life of a Russian police officer. It's the longest running series in the history of Russian TV at the time. Oh, that's their general hospital. Good to know. Well, as far as longest TV show, but for police show, what would I say that would be? That would be more like I don't know why Law and Order came up. Law and Order is my top thing, but there's a lot of cop shows. I don't really watch cop shows, so I don't know any off the top of my head. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help them find the lost boy? Volva! Ooh, I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. Oh. Volva! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Volva! Resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there, behind the trees, hiding. We'll let them say it. I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally towards the ground. Wait, what is he talking about? Its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. Oh, I wish I could go back. So it was my imagination after all. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm gonna have to start paying more attention myself now. Okay, my muscles were tightly sprung. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. I don't like this music, bro. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. Oh my gosh! I want to take it, but I want to go. Why is this one of them games? I didn't think. Oh, should I take it? I mean, technically, he moved away already. And if I take it, I got my proof. Like, I'm already out here. I want to take it. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the bridge. Fuck. Okay, time to run. Time to run. Now you run. I stopped towards the bristly trees. It tried to claim my find. It didn't budge. I pulled harder. The branch caught under the minotaur. I landed my hand with a squashy sound. All too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking, and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny slit between the mint and the snow. Steam rose from the pile of snow. Is it blood? I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust red. The sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Someone was chasing from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew from my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged back into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had came from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in frozen air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfalls. Hurry, run, don't look back. I felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the musty trap just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was this snow ever this sticky? I hate this music. I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength to rush forward. The pressure on my leg was gone. My boots slipped out of the hole and my soles were on the hard surface again. I reached a clear path with one jump and from there ran to my house. His gloomy facade didn't look threatening to me now. That house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tipped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks, as if a dog was striking the woods with his paws, demanding to be let in so he could escape the cold. I had noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard and Mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and it obediently gave away. I hate this game. I hate this game. That was too much. That was too much. That was way too much. Like, the music, The atmosphere just... I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My finger slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted. Wait, I couldn't or I did? Wait. And I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't. Wait. Now I go back. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy burial that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeped out the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad.
Я случайно.
I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone. The breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, mere 5 meters away from Mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, and with it the last bit of strength I had left my body too. My legs gave way. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with
Ты где
snow.
был? Я тебе что говорила, а? Чтобы ты дома сидел. Я и для тебя пустое место.
I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang out.
У отца сигареты пропали. Признавайся, ты их стащил? Курить бегаешь?
Там за мной кто-то гнался. Я думал, меня...
I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. My mom leaned toward me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant, and she covered her mouth with her hand.
Гляди, вон же они. Прямо у забора.
My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again, and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I heard something scratch at the door, just like in my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger, and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window, facing my fear. Ooh. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in the snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Dogs. Just a small pack of strays with no name and owner, barely reminding of the hungry monster that lived on the edge of the forest.
Божечки, ты их испугался? Да они сами тебя перепугаются, Антон.
Они гнались за мной, словно за зайцем. А вдруг они бешеные?
He got a point. He got a big point. The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dolls as if it was her first time
Что, если
seeing
они
them.
нападут на Олю?
Oh, you care about that little bitch.
Мам,
Exactly.
Вот бы твой отец их всех перестрелял.
Damn!
мама, они живые.
А что? Ты уж определись, они тебе друзья или враги? Не маленький ведь уже.
Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And for what? What use do I have for this? Mitten. Of course, a darkened, sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. I hurried to present this clue to my mom.
Мам, смотри, это Вовина варежка. Ну того, про которого утром милиция спрашивала. Она вся в крови, на дереве висела. Вон там, могу показать. Давай в милицию скорее позвоним, как нас участковый просил. Мам, гляди! Фу!
A shadow of doubt slowly crept onto my mom's contorted face, as if she were trying to remember something distinct, like someone tried to remember their dream, but the images slipped away. That was me this morning.
А ну-ка прекрати сейчас же. Оля тебя услышит, с ума сойдет. Она и так не спит, на все подряд жалуется. Еще и ты со своими шуточками.
At that moment, I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment.
Иди сюда, паникер.
Oh no.
Да не стой столбом. Вот, таблетку на. Быстро пей.
Oh, I take pills? I'm crazy? A golden colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell onto my palm.
Я уже пил сегодня, за завтраком.
Попререкайся мне еще. Сказала дома сидеть, нет же. Был бы отец, выпорол. Сейчас же выпей, а то ночью не уснешь. Тебе ведь в школу завтра.
Oh, I go to school tomorrow. So I have to swallow the bitter medication, drowning it with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Volva's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all. Just like the forest monsters and Ola's owl. Am I going mad? What's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect, what was that? Or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Whatever that is, washed over me, bringing yawning indifference along with
Антон, выпил? Можешь, если захочешь. Раздевайся. Уснул, что ли?
Нет, мам, просто задумался.
Интересно, о чем же?
Так, глупости всякие.
Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came from the forest.
Точно все нормально? У тебя такое лицо было, когда милиционер про окно спросил.
Все нормально, мам.
She heaved a deep sigh.
Хорошо.
I thought he had to ask us something. It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom towels. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Ola was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episode and switched to other tapes. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stepped before the sink, and studied my reflection in the mirror like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Jafar's and Aigo's voices died down. I walked past Olga's bedroom and slipped into my own. in here. One of the drawers was empty. I hid the mitten there. This simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. I sat on the bed. And only then I noticed there was someone behind the curtains. My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort as if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of sails. The corner of the room was bent and undilated. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor. It reminded me of a burial sheet.
Оля,
Who else could be standing there? I stood and licked my dried up
Оля,
lips.
очень смешно.
The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached towards the curtains. Ba-boom, ba-boom, beat my heart, controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with the chorus of voices. For a second, I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings rustled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains.
Попался!
Oh, this little bitch.
Да я сразу понял,
I
что
knew it
это
was
ты.
you from the beginning. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olga's head with a setting sun as the background. Little bitch ain't no. My sister was shiny. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. I always retorted, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. But I brought her to the window one day, and sunlight poured on her smiley face. I felt like I was holding a light, moving
А
child.
я все видела.
Да ну,
Что ты спрятал?
She was just like my mom when she was little. Before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched to her commanding tone of voice.
ничего, просто...
Olga ran up to the table, her eyes round, and asked,
Ты что-то украл и теперь прячешь? Ты вор?
Что? Глупая.
"Gloope."
Ничего я не крал.
A clear image came to mind, that mitten hanging from a tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? True. What if that was his way of getting back? What if he left that was his breadcrumb? Oh no! What if oh no! From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind the black trees, Ola may be selfish and stubborn when she wanted.
Покажи тогда.
Поклянись, что никому не скажешь. Тогда покажу.
Ola wore a plotting
Клянусь
smile.
маминым сердцем.
Oh, damn. An oath she heard in one of the movies about the pioneers we watch. Which ones? Pioneer movement, an umbrella term for communist children organizations existing around the world, somewhat reminiscent about the Scout movement. Okay. Y'all over there is weird.
Не говори так.
Olga nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Olga leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter.
Это чья-то варежка?
She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw.
Один мальчик потерял. И сам потерялся. Теперь понимаешь, как опасно гулять в лесу, особенно детям?
Ему, наверное, там очень холодно. Его найдут?
Обязательно. Участковый по домам ходит, всем фотографию его показывает.
Olga traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window.
А почему он по домам ходит, а не по лесу? Боится?
The question caught me off guard.
Милиционеры ничего не боятся. И лес они прочесали.
Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it appear later for me? I changed the topic, as if trying to get Olga as far away as possible from the forest thicket.
Если я сам найду пропавшего мальчика, нам, может, награду дадут.
How is that getting her away if you tell her you about to go get... Boy.
Кучу всякого, как в поле чудес.
Wait, did y'all put Wheel of Fortune in here? Wheel of Fortune. Oh, no. Field of Wonders. This is only my second glass. A Soviet and Russian TV game show still running to this day, coming out every Friday, can be described as a partially added version of Wheel of Fortune. See, I knew. Yeah. So, oh no, I did read Wheel of Fortune right. But it's called Fields of Wonder. Okay, Fields of Wonder.
Клёво же.
Olga wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her.
А что, если эта сова его утащила?
Ерунда. Не может сова поднять человека. Но вот что...
I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my exotic brain.
Ты в лес не суйся. Мне кажется, он какой-то, как бы сказать, проклятый, что ли.
Как в сказке?
Нет, скорее, как на той страшной кассете, что родители прячут.
Olga shivered and stole a glance at the window.
Я видела, как ты убегал.
Oh, she was watching him.
За тобой кто-то гнался?
You should have seen the bitch.
Нет, просто, чтобы мама не волновалась, спешил домой.
As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind, and her small fire would be gone.
Хорошо тебе. Меня вот мама не пускает даже на крыльцо. Как принцесса в башне сижу. Никуда не могу выйти.
See, that's why Disney dangerous. They relate and compare to the wrong things. See?
Так и умру тут от скуки.
Не придумывай. От скуки еще никто не умирал. У тебя же есть я и мультики, а мама с папой скоро помирятся.
Знаешь, что бы я загадала на следующий день рождения?
What you want, girl?
Чтобы родители тоже в детей превратились. И мы бы все вместе играли, как раньше.
Not them turning to kids.
Ага. А если бы они стали размером с жука, то мы бы их в спичечный коробок посадили.
Ola giggled and tugged at my
Ну,
sleeve.
пойдем Аладдина смотреть.
Fatigue went over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of tenuous apathy.
Вымотался я. Что-то не хочется.
Ну, пойдем. Мне скучно одной, а мама занята все время. Можно выбрать другой мультик, который ты еще не видел.
Да я все наши кассеты наизусть знаю.
А вот и не все. Ты Питера Пэна не видел.
Peter Pan.
Помнишь, ты уснул на середине? А там потом такое. Ну пойдем. Пойдем.
Пойдем.
Давай попозже.
Рассказать тебе, чем все закончилось?
No, don't tell him.
Утром расскажешь.
Oh.
Утром не захочу. Придумала. А давай в прятки.
She's like, let's play a game. She's so cute. I like her. I like her so much. And that's what they make me do. They make me fall for her and like her, but no, little bitch, I ain't gonna like you. Because you ain't gonna hurt my feelings.
Нет, Оль.
Тогда нарисуй мне динозавра.
Оля, блин.
Нарисуй, нарисуй.
Да оставь ты меня в покое!
He said, fuck off already. Damn. I blurted out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken aback. I'd never screamed at my little sister like that. Ola stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling, bursting to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olga from crying.
Ладно, уболтала. Давай смотреть мультики. Только недолго.
Уже не хочу.
I came up to her, put my hand on her soft head.
Питера Пэна посмотрим.
Ага, ты опять уснешь.
That's true. I smiled and looked at her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt
Не
bottomless.
усну, обещаю. А потом я тебе целого трицератопса нарисую.
Ура!
She's so cute.
Ну, почти.
Olga rolled her eyes at the sleeve of her pajamas and a shining smile returned to her
Давай ты
face.
пока кассету перемотаешь, а я у мамы попрошу сгущенки с хлебом. Только утром свежий привезли, как ты любишь.
Неси,
Aww.
только аккуратнее, а то разольешь. Опять ругаться будут.
Спорим, не разолью. Кассета где-то в тумбочке. Поищи пока.
Once Olga disappeared into the doorway and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. Okay, I don't remember how I ended it last time with it. I don't know if these have chapters or not. But I'm gonna stop it here. Because I am tired of reading, and honestly, low key, my lashes are messing with me, so I have to. Oh, that's actually a good one. So we're gonna save it here. Okay, but let's go main menu here. I saved it. Now, where does the bunny come in? I can't wait, Mr. Bunny. I'm waiting for you, boo. But yes, that was another episode of Tiny Bunny. I think I'm more invested now, especially with that episode. I am halfway through the bottle, so that is good. I'm going to take a little break, and then I'll probably be playing Among Us later, so check those videos out. But if you like me playing this, definitely comment below. Otherwise, comment some games you want to see me play. And pray for me about my Twitch, because I'm so sad my Twitch died and crashed me today. But it's cool, because I still got to record a video. So, not necessarily a fail. Oh. There we go. Okay. But yeah, that was definitely enjoyable. I definitely had a good time playing this game. I probably should have had, but that's fine. Once again, thanks for watching. I feel like I just mumbled. This is what happens when I drink. Well, I promise I ate today too. But yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.